So if you are on the hunt for the perfect planner, chances are, even if you find it, it's not going to work for you, because if you want the perfect planner, chances are chances are that exact perfectionism will prevent the planner from working for you, no matter how great it is. So let's talk about how to get rid of perfectionism, how perfectionism shows up in our planning process, and then how to get rid of it. Hi, I'm Mystie Winckler, and you found Simply Convivial. Convivial means enjoying life together, and that's the hospitable atmosphere that we want to create in our homes. I'm here to help you do just that. And to create that convivial, joyful, peaceful atmosphere in our homes, we really do need a working plan. And that means writing things down. Having a plan means having a planner. And no matter how many times you have tried using a planner and had it totally fail and flop, I've got the solutions for you. So grab a basket of laundry to fold and let's dig in. Now, I don't know about you, but I didn't think that I was a perfectionist for the longest time. Perfectionism was actually preventing me from keeping my routines, from understanding the right next best thing to do. And because I didn't know the real problem, I couldn't fix it. And since that time, since identifying the fact that it was actually perfectionism getting in my own way, I have helped hundreds of other women identify perfectionism where they didn't think it existed, and then helped them dismantle their perfection. And I hope to do that with you today, especially when it comes to using a planner. Because if any practice is rife with perfectionism, it is definitely using a planner. So I have 3 different symptoms of perfectionism that you can use to diagnose if perfectionism is actually your problem and why your planner is not working for you right now. Reason number 1 is it's perfectionism if you are spending too much time setting up your planner. If your favorite time of using your planner is right at the very beginning when it's brand new, unboxing it, pulling out your favorite pens and setting up your table just so, then probably you have some perfectionism. And that perfectionism is going to creep into the way you're actually setting up your planner, preventing the planner from working with real life. Because real life, I don't know if you noticed this, but real life is not perfect. Real life is messy. Things change. We have to be able to flex and adapt when it comes to real life. So if you are spending all your time setting up your planner and then none of your time using it after it's set up, here is my tip for you to undo that perfectionism and move forward with a plan that is more like real life. So it's perfectionism that is making you spend too much time setting up your planner, because that is when the planner is completely accurate. It's when real life hasn't messed with your plans yet, and perfectionism is drawn to the planner that is unmarked, unblemished. Perfectionism loves to see all the blanks filled in, all the stickers in just the right place, and it enjoys feeling hopeful about the future, but that hope is built on having life go this way that you have just set up. You're kind of building this little mini kingdom in your head and on the paper when you're setting up your planner. And the next day, when you actually go to implement that plan, it's not going to be like your own little kingdom. And so then perfectionism makes you want to throw up your hands and say, see, it was totally not worth it. My life is not going my way. So why bother spending all that time dreaming and setting things up just so, because it doesn't even matter. If that's your response after you make your plan, then definitely there is perfectionism underneath your planning process. And then, speaking of blemishes, the second way that you can tell that perfectionism might be preventing your planner from working is if any little misspelling, any coffee drip on your page makes you want to start all over again from scratch. Now, of course, this is a pretty classic symptom of perfectionism, but still we might not even realize that's what's underneath our avoidance of our planner. Maybe that coffee spill hasn't happened yet, or maybe we're even avoiding writing something in our planner because we don't like our handwriting, because we're afraid of misspelling a word, or we're afraid of the ink blotting on the paper. We're afraid of the toddler scribbling on the page, and that would mess it up. That's what we think. But it's just not at all true, because the helpful part of a planner is not having it perfect. It's not having everything just so. And really, whether or not the toddler has scribbled on the page makes no difference to your plan. It's something that we have to get over. We have to get over ourselves. We have to get over our desire to micromanage and control. We think that our planner is at least one thing in our life that we can control, but we're going to give up on the planner altogether if we're trying to find some spot in our life that we can have some kind of personal control over. The only kind of control you're supposed to have is self-control. And self-control is generally not going to prevent the coffee from spilling on your planner. It's going to happen. We can actually be okay with that. It can actually be no biggie. We can move on. We can keep going. And it can not make one little bit of a difference at all. We can even enjoy looking at a planner that has messed up pages and see our real life in those messed up pages. We can let those moments keep memories for us. We can look back on our days and realize how full of life and growth and goodness our days have been. So don't avoid using your planner for fear of messing it up, and don't start all over from scratch if you feel like you have messed it up in spilling something, in leaving it out where it's going to get crumpled, in misspelling a word, or whatever. That is perfectionism getting in your way, and you can stop it. We're going to get more into ways that you can dismantle that perfectionism, notice it, and then turn away from it and be an anti-perfectionist instead. And if you want help on making a planner that is no big deal, that is not a perfectionist planner, then you definitely want to come to my upcoming workshop called the 4-Part Planner Method. It's happening on Monday and you don't want to miss it. It's totally free, but you do have to register. If you register, you also have the opportunity for several bonuses. So go to simplyconvivial.com/planner. That's simplyconvivial.com/planner to register for that free workshop. Also, I'd love to know in the comments, as we're talking about perfectionism, does this resonate with you? Are you a perfectionist? And how did you come to notice it? Where do you see it in your life, and how is it getting in your way? Let's talk about it in the comments. Okay, time for symptom number 3 in diagnosing our perfectionism when it comes to planners. The third way that you can tell that you are a perfectionist with your planner is if you won't get started, you won't think that your planner is ready until it is complete and thorough, where every blank is filled in, you've thought through everything, and your planner has every single thing you might ever need at your fingertips, ready to go. This is the desire that feeds back into spending too much time setting your planner up. But if you spend more time in thinking mode, in daydreaming mode, in planning mode, honestly, if you spend more time in that mode than in the doing, your planner will be useless. Your planner will be a waste of time. And so you don't need to wait for your planner to have all your goals, your whole menu plan, everything that you need to get done, all your routines, all your habits, all your appointments. If you're thinking in terms of all and complete and ready, and it's preventing you from actually thinking that your planner is useful yet, try actually using it. Using a planner means looking at it in the middle of the day, seeing what's written there, and using that information to make a better choice on what to do next. It's as simple as that. And the more we actually use our planner and write things in it in the midst of doing life, in the midst of using the planner, in the midst of implementing the plans, in the midst of adjusting the plans, if we write as we go, we will have a better, more realistic, more complete planner than if we try to fill out everything ahead of time. You don't have to know where you're going before you get started with those first steps. And if you spend all your time thinking about how you are going to get from where you are to where you want to be and set yourself up to go from here to exactly that end point that you want to be, you're never going to get started. But it's actually getting started that gets you closer and closer to where you want to be. And the plan that you make when you're closer to your goal is going to be so much better than the plan that you make from farther away. You can't really know exactly what you will need down the road, but you can know what to do next. And you can build the habits of using a planner so that you can get some momentum and stop using your brain to hold everything and have a reference so that you can make better in the moment decisions. That's really what a planner is for. So maybe it's not perfectionism that is holding you back from your planner. Maybe these reasons didn't resonate with you. Maybe you think you're perfectly fine flying by the seat of your pants. You don't need a planner because you like to be flexible and you don't want a plan that ties you down. If so, the next episode right here is for you.